According to the CDC, on average, 130 Americans die every day from opioid overdose. From the year 1999 to 2017, almost 400,000 people died from an overdose involving any opioid, including prescription and illicit opioid use. I'm going to be talking to you today about medical marijuana and its many benefits. Medical marijuana is currently legal in 29 states currently. People don't use this to get high, but rather to reduce and ease their medical symptoms. Medical marijuana has many benefits, and including those are treating a variety of symptoms and conditions. It's safer to use than opioids, and it has several routes of administration which make it easier for people to use. Studies report that marijuana has possible benefit for several conditions such as ALS, chronic pain, Crohn's disease, epilepsy or seizure disorder, glaucoma, multiple sclerosis or muscle spasms, PTSD, terminal illness, nausea and vomiting associated with wasting syndrome related to HIV and AIDS, and people who are in cancer treatment and using chemotherapy. It's also beneficial in patients who have Tourette syndrome. One of its many common uses, like I said before, are it helps with anorexia for patients who cannot eat, who have suppressed appetites due to their medical conditions, such as patients who are in chemotherapy. The appetite stimulant part of the medical marijuana, the medical cannabis, is very beneficial, and it does help patients to regain somewhat of their health by having an appetite and being able to eat. Recent reports show that opioids, when being used less and marijuana is offered as a medical option, then there's less deaths and overdoses associated. No marijuana overdose has ever been reported, so that right there is a great benefit as opposed to opiates, because opiate overdose is on the rise daily. People are dying from this, and medical marijuana has never caused any known deaths. Most research suggests that a very low risk of addiction and a very low risk of toxicity is associated with medical marijuana when it's used in recommended and low therapy, when it's taken as recommended and in low therapeutic doses. It can also take the place of NSAIDs such as aspirin and ibuprofen in people who cannot use those medications because of problems with their kidneys or ulcers or having GERD. Medical marijuana also comes in a variety of forms, which makes it much more accessible to people from all different backgrounds. It can come in an oil, so you can cook with it and put it in your food. You can take it as a pill. It comes in a vaporized liquid. It comes in nasal spray. It comes in injectables. You can get it in dried leaves and buds, plants. It has multiple ways that it can be used. It can be used topically on the skin, so people from the young to the old can choose how they would like to benefit from this complementary alternative medication. So we know that medical marijuana can be very beneficial in treating a variety of symptoms and conditions. It's safer than some alternatives such as opiates, and it has multiple routes of administration which make it more accessible to people from all sorts of backgrounds. While more research is needed on the federal level, I still feel that medical marijuana is clearly the better choice for patients battling certain conditions. While I am not encouraging the use of recreational marijuana, I am urging people to be open-minded about its medical benefits. You never know when you or your loved one could find yourself in a position where you have side effects that decrease your quality of life, and you could benefit from something such as medical marijuana. So I just ask you to be open-minded about this new complementary alternative medication. So I'm going to be showing you a PowerPoint about medical marijuana and its many benefits. This photo right here really stood out to me because it has people from the young to the old. There's a little boy there. There's a young lady in a wheelchair, some older people in the background, and they have conditions ranging from epilepsy, cancer, PTSD, among other things. And they were rallying in Utah to petition to have marijuana legalized. So that picture just really stood out to me because there's people young and old, all sorts of conditions, who are wanting to be able to benefit from the use of medical marijuana. This here shows a graph of the United States of America, and it shows the 29 states that have legalized medical marijuana in treating various conditions. And I just hope that one day that all of the United States will be able to benefit from this alternative medication. This here shows a picture of the different forms of the use of medical marijuana. You have the buds, you have the oil, you have the pills, you have the edible route, the inhalation route, and the topical route. It says here that national drug overdose death involving prescription opioids from 1999 to 2017. You can see that this trend has increased significantly from around 3,400 in year 1999 all the way up to 17,000 in year 2017. So that number is significantly on the rise. And that's the end of my slideshow. So that's all I have for you. But again, I just urge you to be open-minded to medical marijuana and all of its many benefits. And I hope that one day all of the states will be able to benefit from this complementary alternative medication.